following are the products used for reamer, stem and universal patch minor repair. A pen, marker or crayon is used to mark the injury, thereby ensuring that you can find the hole once you have removed any foreign objects. It is also used to mark the patch area. A probe is used to help lift up the material which caused the puncture. You can then access the item with pincers or pliers and remove it from the tire. The probe is also used to check both the direction and the angle of the injury. By checking the direction, you are able to drill directly through the injury and not make a new one. Liquid buff spray is used for pre-cleaning the inner liner. The mill cutter is a precision tool which will grind away all the steel cords and texture the rubber at the same time. It must be used at slow speed or it will burn the rubber. The maximum speed used would be 2,500 RPM. The hardened steel cutter is a budget tool which is only expected to last for 40 to 60 repairs. Rather than cutting the cords, this cutter breaks the steel cords. You must use this tool from both sides of the tire, first from the outside in and then from the inside out. This will change the direction the drill is running in and break off most of the cords. It must be used at slow speed to ensure there is no burning of the rubber. The maximum speed used would be 2,500 RPM. A drill is used with a mill cutter or hardened steel cutter to drill and clean the holes. Normal speed is 2,500 RPM as this will not burn rubber. A rubber scraper is used to scrape the liner after liquid buff is applied to ensure the liner is not contaminated prior to buffing. Slow-speed buffers are used to buff and texture the liner surface to give us texture to vulcanize to. The maximum speed expected here is 4,500 RPM. A contour wheel is used at slow speed to buff rubber. Either 46 grit or, if confident, a 36 grit can be used for passenger tires. BL cement is used for all repair materials with blue bonding rubber. To completely activate the blue bonding rubber and cause it to vulcanize to the tire completely, over 20 chemicals are required. The fitting wire is used to pull a reamer stem through a prepared hole. A reamer stem 6 is used for repairing a passenger tire and is the maximum injury that can be repaired in a passenger tire without a reinforced patch up to an angle of 25 degrees. Universal Patch 6 or UP6 is the patch that is used to seal a reamer stem 6. It is unreinforced and can be used in both cross-ply and radial tires. Inner liner sealer is used to ensure that all buff marks not covered by the patch are sealed. This restores the integrity of the inner liner after the abrasive buffing. An air vacuum is used to suck away all dust after the liner is buffed. Do not use an air gun as this will recontaminate the buffed surface. The 3-inch fine wire brush flicks all loose dust out of the buff marks, ensuring it is perfectly clean. Pliers are used to pull out protruding objects such as nails which cause punctures. These are also used to pull the stem through the hole. Stitches are used to stitch down the repair patch and ensure that no air is trapped under the patch. Safety glasses must be worn whenever mechanically buffing tires or vacuuming rubber dust. To assist you in recalling the following process, Reamer TipTop provides simple step-by-step charts so that you always have a handy reference. Use the following procedures when conducting a stem and patch repair. Tires must be thoroughly inspected before beginning any repair. Check the sidewall, bead, inner liner and tread area. Do not rub your hands over the tire. A consequence of being pricked by a nail or needle may well mean the contraction of hepatitis or tetanus. During inspection, you are looking for faults and checking to see whether the tire can be repaired. Use a marker to mark the injury so that you do not risk creating a completely new hole. Using a probe, lift the nail or piece of metal up until you can get your pliers or pincers to finish levering the object out of the tire. If it is a Phillips head screw, you can use a screwdriver. Check the direction of the hole to remove the object. You must follow this direction and angle when you drill and clean the hole. When the hole is more than 15 degrees off the vertical, you must use a 2-piece stem and patch such as the Reamer TipTop stem and universal patch. By using this system, no air entrapment can occur between stem and patch. Therefore, the patch won't be separated or lifted from the stem by the pressure of the angle. Next, using the liquid buff, spray the liner, then scrape it clean. This will ensure that there are no contaminants buffed into the liner. If you were to apply liquid buff after buffing, then contaminants would actually be scraped into the buff marks. Using a slow-speed drill and the hardened steel cutter, drill the hole from the outside to the inside, ensuring that you follow the correct angle of the penetration. Then re-drill it from the inside to the outside. This will help to break off most of the steel cords and push any that are left outwards. This means that you can now easily pull the stem through the hole. Alternatively, you may use a carbide cutter. Using the tungsten carbide cutter, we only need to drill 4 or 5 times in and out of the tyre. This will leave the hole really clean and the rubber textured properly. This tool must be used with a slow-speed buff. Using a 12-gram tube of BL cement, squirt the BL cement into the hole. Insert the stem into the pulling wire. Apply some cement to the stem and into the hole. Any cement on the shaft that is wiped off as it goes through the hole will be cleaned up in the cleaning and buffing process. Turn the tyre on the spreader so that it is easier to work on the liner. Trim the stem 1 mm proud of the liner surface. Using a marking pen, not crayon, as this will contaminate your buff marks, mark the area to be buffed. This will ensure you do not buff too large an area. Using a 46G contour wheel with a slow-speed grinder or drill, buff the complete area for the patch. By using light pressure and constant movement, you can ensure that you don't buff right through the liner. Using a slow-speed drill or grinder, lightly brush the complete buffed area to ensure all loose material is removed. Using an air or electric vacuum, suck away the dust. This will keep the work area clean and will not contaminate your buffed surface. Never use an air gun. The dust moving around the tyre blows across the buffed surface, causing contamination. Take the 225-gram can and brush supplied and apply an even coat of BL cement to the buffed surface. Turn the cemented area towards the top, as this will allow the vapours given off by the drying cement to drop away. This will help dry the cement a little faster, and it will not become contaminated by dust. Check with your knuckle that the cement is dry but still tacky. The recommended drying time is between 10 and 45 minutes, but varies due to temperature, humidity and airflow. Take a UP6 from the packet. Then close the packet so that any remaining patches are kept in a clean, dry, dust-free environment. Remove the aluminium foil from the universal patch. There is a heat-resistant cellophane film which you may touch. Do not touch the blue bonding layer. Place the patch on the dried cement. Using a ball bearing 4 mm wide stitcher, start in the middle of the patch and stitch it millimetre by millimetre to the edge. Then repeat the process on the other side. It is important to stitch around the outside edge, ensuring that it is completely stitched down. This is the only pressure the patch will get before the tyre is placed on the rim, so do it thoroughly. Remove the cellophane after stitching. Use of inner liner sealers is part of Australian and world standards. Using the inner liner sealer means that all precautions are taken to ensure your repair doesn't leak. We cannot always be sure that our buff marks don't go through the liner. This will ensure that all buff marks are sealed using Rema Tip Top Inner Liner Sealer. Use a pair of side cutters or pliers to trim off the excess stem, leaving a protrusion at least 1 mm proud of the tread surface. Do not cut the stem flush or it will retract into the hole. The tyre is now ready to be fitted to the rim and re-inflated. After checking in a dip tank to ensure there are no leaks, the wheel can be fitted to the vehicle. While at 18 degrees C, this repair will take up to 24 hours to fully vulcanize. It is still safe to fit it immediately to the vehicle, provided this repair has been carried out in the tread area only. The reason this is safe is because the tread area is reinforced and able to maintain its shape and protect the patch until full vulcanization has occurred. By following the above recommendations, you can be sure of undertaking tyre repair to the highest standard possible. Remember to use your repair chart both for your own benefit and to explain the process to customers if needed.